Hello and welcome to Delta Green Divergence. This is playing out all of Delta Green, the sort of Gumshoe version of it, but we're doing it with the more modern version of the setting, which is the more classic percentile-based Delta Green that's out there right now. We're kind of fusing those together. This session is part of the Gauntlet Gaming Calendar, which is an online gaming club/community. You can find out more about that at gauntlet-rpg.com. My name is Lowell, pronouns he, him, and we're going to get rolling into this. We came off of a mission last time, so everybody should make sure that you reset all of your stats except for health and stability. We'll come back to health and stability. It does mean that will also recovers back up to full. Yes, no, Will, you don't recover massively, but everything else should reset there.
Just that doesn't include network, does it? We spend network.
If you can take a person out of network and bring those points back into your network pool if you wish. If you want to clear them out, you can do that. The only thing would be is if potentially as a consequence, if you had network per asset on site and you got them killed, then I would like give you another mission before you could restore them, that kind of thing.
And the last one will as well.
Yes, that will go back up.
Okay.
Is it slightly, would it be gaming the system too much if I removed Chapstick my hacker, but then potentially brought them back in again anyways?
No, because I mean, there's no difference in the effect there really when it comes down to it, because there's no role for network when we it's just their activation when we do them.
I just didn't want to be gaming the system, you know. Like, but I'm probably not going to have need for a hacker.
Did anyone go below 0 health? Okay. Where did everybody end up health wise? Susan? Just a big 0?
0.
Okay. Gene?
I'm fine.
You're fine. Jim?
3.
3. Okay. And what about you, Marcus?
I was fine. I don't think anyone shot at me.
That's right. Right. That's right. You were injured, but you healed miraculously at the end of last session.
I did. The joy of medical aid.
Yeah.
You went down to 1, I think, and then medical DCFs back up, and then suddenly felt
medical
better.
aid.
Such better, so much better. Yeah.
So Jim, that's a chunk. That's over half your health that you took. So, like, what is the visible sign? Is it like moving a little more slowly? Is it are you bandaged up? Like, what do we see there?
Yeah, I think it's a bandaged hand because I punched that pillar of stone basically. So I think I got a big sort of club hand.
Okay. Yeah. So that's the only real sign. Susan, you got really battered. So it's when someone sees you, they're going to know that something happened. What will they see?
Can somebody remind me what happened to Susan? Was it the giant that threw her around?
Yeah, I think you got tossed around in that end fight is my recollection, but you took a little bit before that when you were dealing with that.
You have a go at Rick when Jim broke his hand. I think you stepped up, but I can't remember if he knocked you back or something.
I think so. So I assume that she has.
You got hit by the explosion as well. That was
So I think there's definitely burn marks on the side of the face that haven't healed yet.
Okay. So that seems fair. Stability wise, you can go look at your current bonds as they stand and you can recover that much stability.
Say that again.
So what are your current bonds like?
There's a lot of zeros.
Okay. So we talked about that, you know, do you want to leave those at zeros? Or do you want to have any of them broken? For each one that you have broken, you can like have your current stability up by one more.
Ooh, that is tempting. I mean,
keep in mind that if you do that, then those bonds will not be in play for this final mission.
Susan is fucked anyway, so
fair enough. So you could conceivably like burn all three of those since you took them to zero, and I would let you take yourself back up to that 6 cap.
I love that.
Okay,
makes total sense.
We'll talk about what that burning looks like here in a minute. Did I hand out the XP last time? Okay. No. I'm going to give you, rather than 5 build points, I'm going to give you 6 build points to spend. That opens up a couple of additional possibilities there. So that's on the between sessions tab. It has the list of costs for all of those things. Gene, which of the 2 adaptations do you want to reset back to 0? Adaptation to helplessness or adaptation to violence? Like one of those you're going to kind of keep on the path of becoming unpleasantly inured to.
Helplessness, I think.
Okay, yeah. So go ahead and reset that. I don't think anybody else had that. So now you did spend some bonds, Gene, last time, I believe, right? But we'll come back and talk about like what that means in a second. What are you thinking you want to buy with your build points?
So I have been spreading them around a little bit, and I'm giving myself an extra 1 in stealth, an extra 1 in firearms, an extra 2 in demolitions, and that leaves me with 2 left over that I think I'm going to put maybe 1 into conceal, and then maybe 1 into sense trouble as well.
These all sound like good directed choices there.
I'm already pretty handy, so it's nice.
Oh yeah, no, I think you're going in depth a little bit to strengthen those abilities. Certainly, last time we discovered that having a little more demolitions is often a good idea.
Yes, yeah. I think it would be nice for us to have. I think after this, her experiences so far, Jean definitely has hit the books a bit harder on the demolitions.
And we'll come back to you to talk about your bonds here in just a second.
We did, just to say, we did cover how the bonds had changed at the end of last session for me.
Oh, okay.
Because I did bond with Jim and bond with Horse character.
Oh, that's right.
Character,
that's right.
So we did cover that.
But we'll come back and check. Like we'll come back on and focus more on kind of what you're doing when we come back. Jim, what are you buying?
I'm going to increase my bond with the Black Disciples.
Okay.
Instead of, that was on 2 of 2, so 3 of 3.
Okay.
Now, and I'm going to take architecture.
Okay.
Yeah, hard to rationalize.
No, but I think it makes sense. Probably something that you're realizing, having had to deal with floor plans and breaches and sort of SWAT style stuff, going back and reviewing that material.
Yeah, so that is a new investigation ability is 2 points.
Yeah.
A bond is 2 points, leaving me 2 points left, and I would like to throw those 2 points into non-lethal firearms, a speciality.
That seems fair. Yeah, that makes sense. You can either put that like put a cell thing below, or you can put it down in your contacts special training down there.
I'll concentrate on moving everything down.
Okay. Let's come to Dr. Evans. I don't think you burned. Did you burn any bombs with Joanne a little bit, right?
No, that was in a previous one. That was a consequence of lying to her about the job interview.
Yeah.
So no, I haven't had to rely on those at all.
Good. What are you going to buy then? It's only up for you. Yeah.
And so my current stability is 9 of 10.
Yeah.
How can I get to 10?
Is that 9 of 10 after you've done those? The bond?
That's how I ended last time. I just want to know.
Oh yeah. So you still have 5 points worth of bonds. So normally you would recover up to 5 points of stability at the end of a session, just from going back.
Okay.
So you'll go back up to 10.
Oh, I see. Okay, simple as that. Okay, right. In which case, I think adding a push to any investigative costs me 3, doesn't it?
Yes, it does.
Then
do that twice.
Yeah, I know I could. I'm going to add 1 to interpersonal, which will cost me 3. Then I am going to add. Yeah, I could, couldn't I? Yeah, I'm going to add another 1 to technical.
Okay.
For a moment, I was tempted by Action Man, but I think that probably doesn't fly for Marcus. You know, I can't see him on the range.
And it certainly does make a little bit sense. Like you leaned into your medical training, your sciences last time, as well as kind of being the person leading folks through the woods on that last day. So that makes sense. Okay. What is it that you want to spend your build points on, Susan?
I already spent them like 4 on 2 stability points and 1 in athletics, 1 in firearms.
Okay. So assuming that you'd mark the stuff, is that so? Is your 6 max before you spent the points?
No, after.
Okay.
I was at 1 stability. Before the session, I bought 2 stability back for 4 build points, and then.
Okay. Well, you don't have to spend points to restore that now.
Oh.
Okay, because I'm going to talk with you about that, and we're going to figure out how you're going to get that back. So if you want to spend those points on raising your stability or do something else, we're going to talk about that. Like for you, because you don't have bonds to rely on, we're going to talk about how you kick out and fuck things up to get your stability back. Okay. So yeah, you can have those points to spend otherwise. Let's then come back to Jean. Jean, in the aftermath, I mean, there's that day of traveling, and then there's, you know, finally getting picked up, heading back to the offices. Gregory Jefferson has received the briefing. He's got the notes, and he will tell you he has sent that up the chain. He doesn't know the details of the mission. That's not something he knows because he's not your direct handler or anything. But he will say, I don't like to ask this. I don't like to ask anybody about what happened. And this is out of the office somewhere, you know, where you've arranged that you can meet and talk without surveillance. But the notes you had were weird. There was another Delta Green team involved.
Yeah. And they got turned or something. I don't know. But we left one of them behind. And but we took care of the rogue. Well, Evans took care of the rogue agent.
And the other two? Like I saw there was like 4 people, right?
Don't know. It's too much. You know, Greg, there was just, we were just out there on our own and the whole place was fucked. And what we found in there and the people in the cages and put it all in perspective for me. You know, I had my doubts when we started doing all of this. I don't have any doubts anymore.
That's probably good. It's probably good. I've been called back to Washington. I haven't been given the details on why I'm being called back. I know that there's a big shakeup going on. And I'm uncertain. That gentleman that you spoke with last time,
Yeah,
he's going to be stepping in as acting supervisor for the Chicago field office.
that's fine.
Are you sure? I brought a letter of recommendation if you want to transfer to another site.
I don't really care, Greg, okay? All of this, I used to think it was important. I used to think this was the job, you know, and I didn't do the job. You know, I didn't do this because it was the job. I took the job because it let me do this. And what I saw down there, the program is what matters. You put me where you need me for the work.
I don't know if I'm going to be able to do that. That's what I'm saying to you. Let me see this. You know, this may be a temporary thing. I may be back. We will see. There are 2 ways, in my experience, that DG people go out. They crack on the job. They come back and they can't do it anymore. They retire. They change professions. They get institutionalized. But the other way that people get removed is they go off on their own without the institution, without like this. I mean, we need the FBI, we need the organizations that we belong to as deniable cover.
Yeah.
People who go off on their own get killed.
Yeah. But the job needs to get done, right?
I don't think you're hearing me, but I don't know if I can make you understand what I'm saying.
I understand. Don't worry. Make
sure you keep in contact with your friends. Make sure you keep yourself anchored. I suspect that this new guy is going to put you on desk duty for a while, which is fine. You know, that gives you a chance to relax. I went ahead and wrote some additional notes to cover for your absence.
You know, you could put me in on a transfer.
Where do you want to go?
I want to go to special weapons and tactics.
FBI heavy insertion teams are a hell of a way to go, but if you want that, I'll put in the request for it.
Yeah.
Okay.
Thanks, Greg.
I hope to talk to you again.
She just smiles at that.
He will head out. Jim, how is it that you increase your bond with the Black Disciples?
Well, that works out quite nicely. So, yes, money. So I will contact our smoking gun type man, the man that gave me the slush fund money.
Absolutely.
And I will tell him that I have purchased 500 mil of top grade marijuana that is hitting the streets of Chicago. And this was purchased from our last mission location. And I will give him details of the van that is no more, that we drove into the side of the building, and say that was stashed. I won't tell him that the van's destroyed. He can find that out. But basically, this was meant to be some of the most destabilizing marijuana that's ever been produced.
He says pot, marijuana. I mean, like that's
no. Literally, read the report. This stuff fucks with your head. This is super skunk, unbelievable. This will do more damage than any Mary Jane, any brown sugar. This is the shiz.
Okay. I'll follow up on it. Thank you, Agent Williams. We'll be in touch again.
Excellent. Yeah, it's getting quite hectic on the streets, so I'm going to have to lay low for a little bit. But
Fair enough.
This should definitely do something. And then I will go see Kenneth Supreme McGritt, the leader of the gang. And I will. I'm not going to give him the money directly. In fact, I'll meet up at his mother's house. His mother, I've got so Meemaw, got a lot going on with her. We were raised together, and basically I'll hand her 200K and say, and Kenneth's there. I'll say this needs to go to the community, Meemaw. Some food programs, something in the neighborhood. And Kenneth, I don't want this money disappearing. This is for the people. This is for the hood.
And she knows enough to kind of watch this. She looks and she says, I'll make sure that nothing goes wrong with this.
Yeah. I mean, some of it will clearly, go somewhere.
Right.
You can do some good.
You don't say that, but they there's certain expectation a little bit.
I know some of it's going to disappear.
Yeah. Let me ask you this. You set your bond with Marcus Evans back to 0. Do you think it stays that way, or like what is the tension there?
Well, I think he's actually quite a cold-hearted fucker, old Marcus is. He doesn't seem to have much to do with the other members of the team, and I think my time with Marcus is drawing to an end. That's not saying he wouldn't have somebody's back. I just think once a mission finishes, Marcus goes off in his van and does whatever Marcus does, runs around the track of it.
You will get a call from one of your fellow DEA undercover people. And then we'll say, Jim, this is like, you've got like some informal ways of contacting one another off the grid kind of thing. Jim, internal affairs for the DEA are here in Chicago, and
Sure.
They're in the offices and they're pulling paperwork and they are digging. I don't know what's going on, but like they clearly have a scent. Like they've got somebody in their sights and they are chewing their way through. I don't know what you've got going on.
Yep.
But I'm telling everybody that I can to be extra careful Nothing flashy. Stay low. Keep track of your stuff. Be ready to be accountable for everything.
Man, what do you think I am? Crockett and Tubbs from Miami Vice?
Yeah, no, I'm calling. This is the message I'm telling everybody, because I know what we have to do in our job, and I know the corners that I've cut.
Sure, man. Sure. I know what you're saying.
Yeah. Like, you know, these guys come through every once in a while, but this seems different.
Okay, maybe somebody's tipped them off about something.
Yeah.
Maybe we've got a rat.
Yeah.
I'll keep low.
Okay. Yeah. I just don't want you to get wrapped up in something.
No, I'm not wrapped up in anything, but you're right. Thanks for giving me a call. You know, I don't want to get pulled into anything, and keep your own head down, man.
I will.
You know, if this is going big, I'll keep an eye out for you. Thanks.
And when you do like a couple of quick calls, you can confirm that is in fact like that is the situation right now.
Under audit. Okay.
Yeah. Dr. Evans, your wife is very pleased to see you. She's very happy to have you back. She doesn't ask any questions.
No, because life is sweet.
Absolutely.
I really feel I made a difference last time.
Yeah.
I really feel that maybe this is the work I've always been meant to do. Because, you know, there were all those people, rescued them. There was some other stuff going on down the corridor, but I don't know what that was all about. No, and not only is this what I should be doing, I think I'm gifted at it.
Absolutely. Tell me, how has the dream changed?
I think I'm putting this down to the fact that I'm sure that Jim and Susan shared Rick disappearing into the ground. And so increasingly that dream, when I move forward and there's a mound or an area of ground and the figure comes out of it, the figure that comes out of it is Rick. And you know, he has that kind of shitty grin, doesn't he, Rick? And in the past, when the figures, they kind of come towards me and gone past, I think. And now increasingly it pauses in front of me, grins at me, and then moves off.
During that last bit, during the most recent sort of recollection there, the figure moves past. What is it that tells you that there's actually someone alongside you? Maybe slightly behind you.
As Rick stops, pauses, looks at me, then looks past me and makes a detour around me, as though there's someone standing just here.
What do you do?
That's just a dream.
Okay, shake it off.
Yeah, no, I mean, that's just a dream. You know, I'm coming to terms with the dream, and I think I'm embarking.
Yeah, and I think you kind of come up out of your sleep, coming to terms with it. Joanne is already up. She's already seated up. Looks like she's been awake for a little bit. She's looking down at you in bed, and she says, "Is everything okay?"
Yes. Yeah. No, I'm fine. Fighting fit. I mean, I've been having this dream for a while, but you know, and I think that Marcus has probably been doing some self-help psychotherapy. Now, I know that psychotherapy can't be used on yourself, but that doesn't stop him trying.
Absolutely.
And just reading about, you know, interpretation of dreams, and that's playing into his interest in fringe and occult and that kind of stuff. So he's convinced it has a meaning, but he's not certain what the meaning is.
So, you know, you go back. It's just,
I tell you what the meaning is. I tell you what he's beginning to think is that figure that's with him and alongside him is the more confident Marcus Evans that can kick ass at this.
And I think we see you lay back, go back to sleep. And we see your wife still sitting up, watching you sleep.
That's not at all
Susan,
sinister.
Susan, let's come to you. When you come back, are you taking a few days off? Are you going right back into the FBI? What are you doing?
So first, Susan moves out of her parents' apartment, obviously after the altercation, and she buries herself in. I mean, she will have to take probably a couple of days off to heal the wounds, but then she will bury herself in work.
You will go into work, and when you get into the offices as you're moving through, you will notice a substantial number of empty chairs in the offices. And when you come in, a person who has acting InfoSec director who you've never met before will come in and say, Agent Rajavi, I see you're back.
Yes, sir.
There's been a bit of a shakeup. Can you come down to the meeting room? We'll have a little chat here.
Of course.
And he'll take you down there, and he'll sit you down. And this is Supervisor Reynolds, let's call him. He'll say, can I ask about this?
An accident in the kitchen. Rajavi is very pale and you know, tries to avoid his gaze.
So there's been a directive that's come back from the new director. We are retasking priorities, and we've cut some budget. So we've had to let a number of agents go. I'm going to ask for you to go through the current materials that you're working for and give me an annex of everything that you're working on and the current operational stages on those. Why are you an FBI agent?
Because I love my country, so.
There's a new wind here at the FBI. And I'm hoping that you're willing to turn your sails into that wind. And we are looking at protecting America from the threats that face us outside, people coming over the border, sleeper agents, people trying to bring in kids to kind of build like an anchor baby setup as well. There's a rising tide of Islamic jihadism that we have to be prepared for. We are retasking to do that. Part of that is getting better handle on what those threats are. Another part of that is finding what kinds of sympathizers in the US are supporting the kinds of movements that give rise to terrorist groups like Antifa. And we want you to be on board on that. We think someone with your ancestry may be useful in this if you really do love your country.
Well, so I do love my country. I'm having a hard time seeing the connection between Islamic terrorists and Antifa, but I'm willing to look into that.
Yeah, it's all a network of various moneyed interests for like drug dealers and things like that are paying for terrorism, and then that's coming back. That money is coming back into the U.S. to fund these kinds of movements.
Right.
We're going to need you to help with that.
Sir, everything I can do to protect my country.
Absolutely. I have a new ID card for you with for the new sort of updated security measures and screenings that we're doing. And we'll pull out a badge with your picture on it and stuff, and he will hand it to you. You notice it's a slightly different color.
Take a look. It's just a different color. Is there any kind of mark, black mark or something?
No, but you haven't seen anyone else with this color.
All right, interesting. So
yeah, absolutely. What do you want to know, Agent Rajavi?
The color coding, is that some kind of special force?
There's some security screenings we're doing. We're marking certain agents out as background. I'm sure we will get that cleared out, and we'll get you a normal security badge here soon.
Of course.
Susan, how are you feeling when you leave that meeting?
I mean, Susan's mind is definitely not. She's not thinking about the current situation, to be totally honest. Obviously, there's something foul going on and something fishy. But every time she closes her eyes, she sees, this flesh with eyes and tentacles and what have you. So. I don't think that she really realizes what is going on. Or maybe she does realize, but her priorities lie somewhere else.
So let me ask you, what is the thing that you do, the indulgence that you do to restore your stability? Is it diving into this work and buying into this reprehensible system and like absolutely doing that? Or is it kicking back against it? Or is it indulging in something? What is it you do to get yourself back to just the appearance of being sane?
So I think that she definitely severed her connection with her family. And that felt, that hurt, obviously, but also felt liberating. For the first time, she's completely autonomous. And obviously she will be in her new apartment, and there's probably just a mattress and, very, very Spartan. And maybe the thing that she indulges in is marijuana. Actually, she buys pot, and when she comes from work, she will just smoke weed, get stoned, and then sleep.
Yeah, it's work, come home, burn out, get up the next day, work. You put that, and I think by the end of that second week, work is just a numb, patterns, checking things, all that kind of things. What's your reaction when your dad's face comes up on a watch list in the middle of what you're doing? It just pops up.
I think, I will read what is the watch list about?
Basically, they are running a new security algorithm to look for potential terrorists or terrorist sympathizers. And they've got some what they call points of overlap with certain Southeast Asian terror networks in terms of financials and some other things that they've come up with?
I think she will, there's just tears running down her face when she sees her dad, and she will, can she clear him?
Absolutely.
And she will do that.
Okay. You will quietly move him off from that list. And I think it's like maybe a couple of minutes later that the zzz comes in of the case file combust reflector briefing. And I think we're going to cut to a Midwestern meetup spot you've been assigned to kind of meet, gather intelligence, just get yourself set. Agent Oliver, it's easy for you to put in for a little more desk leave. Jim, you're already kind of rolling off the radar. Alan, you kind of get off the phone. You're not sure who you were calling, but your wife says, "Are you going somewhere?"
Yeah, I need to go to the Midwest for a couple of days.
Okay. Doesn't ask any more questions.
Why would she?
No. And what's your excuse for work?
I'm going to take some leave.
Okay.
The fact that my leave is planned for the rest of the year to be used up seems to be by the by.
Yeah.
I'll just, I'll deal with that.
Yeah, you can figure it out when we get to the end of the year and you have no more days left. Yeah.
Yeah. And Addo and Pat can hold a fort here.
Absolutely. Susan, how are you taking some time off? Oh, horse may have stepped away here. We'll give Susan a moment here while I drink some more of this coffee.
I mean, it is 5 to the hour.
It is, but I have a reason why I'm not going to break yet.
Okay.
Let me ask you this: you get this message, you have about 12 hours to kind of scramble, meet up with the team, and then travel, to Nevada. Are any of you doing anything like special preparedness wise for this? Contacting people, getting material together, that kind of thing?
I want a drop piece.
Okay.
I want a piece that is clean, not registered on anything, that I can use in this operation, and if it was to be found, they would just assume it was part of the cult's own weaponry.
Okay.
Doesn't connect back to me in any way.
Something from like a six year ago raid on some kind of militia office, things like that, picked up.
Yeah, I'm thinking maybe like a handgun that Gene sees from a suspect and never actually filed into evidence.
Okay. A rainy day gun.
A rainy day gun.
Okay.
Yeah.
And what about you, Dr. Evans? Is there anything you are pulling together?
No. I mean, they'll be what I need there.
Okay. Yeah, absolutely. And what about you, Jim?
I will pull together some non-lethal weapons.
Okay. What do you mean by non-lethal? Do you just mean tasers or something else?
No, I was thinking one of those sort of like net guns. Yeah, I specifically want a net gun, something that's going to hinder movement.
Okay, I think that's actually a preparedness roll, given that that's unusual equipment. I'll give you a lower difficulty because you're doing this kind of while you're in, in a place that you're connected to. But let's say difficulty 4 for that.
Okay, let's spend 2 points, not 6 points as I just did. And let's make that roll 1d6. Let's see how it goes. Oh, winner, chicken dinner. Rolled a 6 plus 2 is 8.
Oh yeah, you've
A
got
few refills, maybe.
you've got a net gun, and it's not just kind of a hanky thing. It's an actual like military grade
Yeah, maybe some
gun.
of they used to capture drones. It's been sort of modified. Yeah.
Yeah, that makes sense. Has a little bit of range to it, a little bit of weight, and it can seriously tie someone up. Susan, how are you? Like, what's your excuse for kind of going off on this operation? Are you just taking more days off? Are you vanishing? What are you doing?
I think she will take sick leave, trying to get to a doctor that you know, writes her. What is it called? Like a
Doctor's
a
note, or
note.
oh,
Yeah.
okay. Yeah, I think you've got enough pull to do that. And are you getting anything unusual ready in the time you have before the meetup?
As in gear?
Yeah.
I don't think so. I mean, she assumes that there will be some kind of assault rifles, like the normal weapon side of things.
Absolutely. So all of you are in one of those, as I said, like the now Midwestern, rent a office kind of thing where you meet up. There's a DG, where you're going to have a DG drop bag and that kind of thing. And Gene, Marcus, Susan, you will get a red priority communique come over your DG handler channel.
Marcus will be bemused because this is the first time he kind of looks at Oliver, I think, and says, "Gene, what does this mean?"
I will read for Jim's benefit the top line of the statement. Stand down from current operation. Your involvement in combust reflector has been suspended. New case file with immediate attention follows. Jim, you don't get that briefing note.
Don't get that. Okay.
Let's take our 10-minute break, and then we're going to come back.
If you can hear Lowell, you're still recording.
Well, that must be a mistake, mustn't it?
Why didn't
That Jim
get it?
hasn't had the same, document we've had.
Does Jim only get the top bit?
You
And
got
that's it.
no, you didn't get anything. You got the original case file combust reflector, which brought you here. But the immediate action that those three got was not sent to you.
Shit, that means Jim's still on combust reflector, and we're pulled off onto this.
Or I could just not have received it.
Yeah, it must be a mistake.
Yeah. It must just be, that they forgot to add Jim to the group chat, right? When the government conspiracy is sending around its discreet covert messages about where it sends people, sometimes they just forget to add people to the thing. You're right. That's totally the explanation.
So are we quite near Combust Reflector? The site that we were.
You're a couple of states over right now. Essentially, you were about to take off on the final leg to Nevada. So
we're closer to Combust Reflector than we are to Louisiana.
That's true.
So
yeah.
But I take it Combust Reflector is not on the way.
You've got to go pretty much from where you're at. You've got to go straight west. If you want to go to Louisiana, you have to go southeast.
Well, I think the only thing to do is well, one, are you not going to tell me anything about your new mission?
I'm going to share all the details.
Yeah, why wouldn't you? Why wouldn't you?
I'm going to say that
I've sensed he's been a bit distant recently, but still, it's Jim.
I'm clearly off the job. I'm going to say that your brief clearly sounds very much like Jafar, a drug it tasks me and I will have it. This is a drug I've been searching down for a long, long time. This could be it.
Yeah, well, tough shit you're not on the job then, isn't it, Jim?
Well, clearly. Well, I will fill you in on what I know about Jafar. And then I'm going to have to make a phone call, really, to my handler. Lol.
Okay. So it gives you a briefing on Jafar. You are a little surprised, like what is coming on here. Like they know what Jafar is. They would have said codename Jafar. So it's a little weird, like the terminology being used here.
How does this relate to the weed operation we disrupted?
Oh, not at all.
Not at all. Okay.
This is a different look. We were going to go after those fucking sons of Megiddo. We were going to go to Nevada. We were going to take down the pieces of shit that did what we found down, that put those people in those cages, and they're pulling us. They're pulling us from what we need to do.
Yeah, no, I get that. But they wouldn't do this if it wasn't necessary, would it? Would they? I mean, if you're telling me this isn't a mistake, then there must be some higher power at work here.
Could be a mistake. No. Actually, I believe what you're saying there, actually, Doctor, that maybe something is afoot.
Jim, are you stepping out to make a call?
No, I'll just sort of hush the room down and sort of stand in the corner of the room. So, I don't want if people want to overhear some of the conversation.
So you will dial up by the number of that new handler, and they will answer. They will give the appropriate code phrase, wait for you to give the code phrase back, give the final clearance, and they'll say, are you clear? Are you aware?
Yeah, I'm clear. I'm in a phone booth. No one here.
What's up? Are you on site in Nevada?
No, I'm in a stop short location. But I haven't got any team. What's the score?
What are you talking about? The rest of your team should have been tasked from what I picked up.
No, they're not here. They're on some other. I've just got a casual social thing saying, they're on something else. So where's my new team?
Holy shit! Hold on. Look, give me 10 minutes. And let me call you back. All right.
I can't do this.
Are you in a secure location? Here, do me a favor. Wherever you're at right now, I would need you to move, and then I'll call you back in 10 minutes. I don't.
Yeah, sure. Yeah, sounds cool. But yeah, I can't do it alone. Okay. And so the rest of the team have overheard at least my side of that conversation. I'll turn around and say, he wants me to go with another location. I wouldn't mind a bit of oversight from you guys, just in case something goes down.
Absolutely. This is very odd.
Susan, can we get any information about, because we know quite a lot of background about my, the original mission. Can you get anything deeper on whatever it is you've been tasked with?
And Susan has been quiet the whole time. And she says, I think we're compromised. We need to move.
Agreed.
Yeah, I'm going anywhere. Clearly if I've phoned in, maybe I'm the one that's probably more exposed to this situation. But, clearly if something's going to happen to me, I wouldn't mind you guys keeping an eye on me.
We'll absolutely have your back, Jim.
Yeah.
And Marcus is anything he's taken out of a bag, he's putting into a bag. And he kind of looks at Jean as if to say, let's
Jean,
move.
You moving?
I want to get these people. I don't give a shit about a drug operation in Louisiana.
Damn right.
I need to find that fucker Crash.
That's not the point right now. Jim's been told, I imply, he's in danger and should move.
Shut
We're
up,
in
Marcus.
the same room.
We are moving.
We're moving.
Okay,
Get in
let's
the car.
do
Get
that
in the
thing.
car.
So you will move, Gene. You do standard, intelligence op, dropping things, surveilling 2 cars, switch pass. You're checking for any unusual electronic traffic in the area, that kind of thing. You do a quick sweep to make sure there's no trackers on the cars.
Rajavi's got the tradecraft.
Yeah,
so.
you do all that and you're clean. You will get to another location. Let's say a bar. That's sort of kind of in the middle of nowhere. Not many people there, but and you don't seem unusual. It's kind of just off the highway. And about 10 minutes later, you will get a call back, Jim.
I'll tell him that the situation's clear. I've moved a good distance, but what's the target? Where's my team? Or do you just want me to go and scout it out, or go deep undercover?
So situation is a problem now, Agent Williams. I need you to understand that there are 2 Delta Greens.
Shit me, there could be 3, 4.
No, let me explain. There is a institutional body that has the support and connections within the federal government, and is a more recent development that have come out of some real bullshit that they did a few decades ago, but they've gotten the upper hand. And then there's people like me out in the field who have not yoked our harness to them. We're outlaws, outsiders. It's an informal network, but I have contacts within the organization. Your previous handler, I had exchanged information with over the last decade. And when he came to me to tell me that he believed that something was going on and that he was about to be disappeared, he handed your case file over to me and gave me the channels to pass on the briefings to you.
Okay.
It means that I believe that the federal Delta Green agency has been compromised.
Someone has clearly been compromised. Definitely. But looking at the macro situation, Sons of Megiddo, is that still the mission? Do you want me to put a crew together to deal with it?
Yeah, but I want you to know if this has happened, they've probably pulled your assets. They probably pulled your support. You're going to have to do this on your own.
No ATF. Okay. Yeah,
Hey.
leave this with me. Deny all knowledge. If it goes south, you cut me loose.
If you, I'll try to help you what I can. And if you get through this, then I'll get you connected on more fully on this side of things. I'm sorry that it's come to this. I thought there'd be more time before everything went pear-shaped.
Shit happens, man. Shit happens. But yeah, leave it with me. I'll put a crew together.
Yeah. Says,
yeah.
I know, I didn't want to say this before, but I do know that I had information that at least one of your team's handlers was compromised, the one running Dr. Evans. So I would be very careful about how to put this. If you're pulling him in, make sure that he's not allowed an external means of access to communications without being watched. All right.
Yeah, we'll work on the doctor. Leave that with me.
Okay. And that you'll hear, Marcus.
Yeah, because my first instinct is to play the same trick. Ring my handler, say the three of us are here. We're on our way to Louisiana. Slightly concerned, no sign of Jim. That's that's the obvious thing to do, isn't it?
That is the thing to do. Are you doing that?
I certainly set out to do that. Yeah, I say, okay, I'll just ring my handler.
I think if I've got some head start on my conversation,
right.
As soon as my conversation comes to an end, I'll walk over and I'll close his phone. I'll just press the stop button and say, "Doctor, this is some heavy shit."
But we need to clarify. The obvious thing to do is to triangle it.
I think we've been compromised. We've got to go off the grid.
What?
We need to get rid of our phones as well.
Yeah. Let's bow to Susan here. She's the OPSEC specialist. Something's gone wrong.
So your guy says that.
So let's just pause here. Jim, what do you tell them? And then let's roll from there.
I'm not all three of them. I'm not going to tell him much together. I'm going to need to get some separate time with people. But what I will play on them heavily is what Susan and Jean both said. Fuck this. Let's deal with the Sons of Megiddo. So I'm 100% going down that road of let's fuck this. We can deal with the Louisiana shit some other time. Let's go and get the Sons of Megiddo. Who's with me?
I mean, I don't object to that in principle, but I just think the logical thing is to check.
And that's when I'll then start laying it very heavy that I think we've been compromised. Something has clearly gone wrong here.
But what does that actually mean?
It means that they will come after us if we don't get rid of our phones.
Yeah, some sinister. Maybe it's something linked to the Sons of Megiddo. Maybe Doctor, they've got a finger in the government.
They're a bunch of hillbillies in the desert.
Connected hillbillies. They could know a senator. They could know somebody big. You just don't know how deep this goes.
They're a very successful folk band. Remember your friend Rick?
Okay.
All I'm saying is,
just tell me what to do. Tell me what to do. I'm confused.
The phones. Let's go deal with the Sons of Megiddo. Then we can get back on point. Maybe go down to Louisiana and eat some shrimp.
So what happens if presumably we're supposed to report in from Louisiana using these phones? How does that play? We'll
get some new phones when we get to Louisiana. Let's go deal with the Sons of Megiddo. But if we're compromised, they'll track these phones and they'll know we're going. Doctor, let's dump this. Let's get on with what we said we were going to do. Deal with the Sons. Susan, Jean.
Susan gets out her SIM card and burns it.
Okay, so are you the phones? I know if everyone's good with that, you are disposing of. Are you disposing of other electronic devices like laptops and tablets?
Yeah, anything that could have anything sort of shoved in it. You know, if anybody needs a new tablet, I've got some funds. You know, I'll go down to Best Buy and I'll buy you, you know, whatever you need.
So I just want to meta the conversation to put it all clear. Like, despite, you know, what the characters may or may not know, right? So Jim's handler is essentially an outlaw, and but he has been sort of a mole within the program, essentially, right, for the outlaws. Whereas our handlers are supposedly members of the, you know, more direct members of the program, and therefore the program was originally set up Operation Catalyst, case file combustion, and this ATF raid, but now the program has pulled this raid and pulled our 3 agents away from it and redirected us towards something else, which is, you know, rightfully, he suspects to say that the program has been compromised, perhaps by the powerful people who are connected to the Sons of Megiddo may have connections within the program as well, right?
Yeah, that's sort of what I'm playing a bit. That, you know,
that feels like an accurate
resigned.
assessment of the what the situation is. Yes,
which ultimately means that there is no ATF raid anymore.
That is correct.
No, but I'm not going to tell the good doctor that.
No, but I imagine I mean, we've still got a bond, right? Do you trust Jean enough to tell Jean that in a private moment?
I will definitely tell Jean and Susan that.
Well, so at some point, you're going to get Jean aside as you are bundling things, to, you know, changing out vehicles for other vehicles, doing that swap, so that if anything is registered, it's not getting tracked, and bundling into a couple of cars. And you want to take a moment to give Jean a fuller set of the details?
Yeah, and that my handler believes the doctor's handler has been compromised. No word on either yours or Susan's, but my guy thinks Marcus's handler. That's not Marcus has been compromised, but we've got to stop Marcus talking up the chain. Let's play on teamwork, working as a team, getting this job done.
Well, we're done talking up the
Marcus
chain
is not compromised currently, I believe.
At which point Marcus comes back into the room carrying the bags that he was sent to get from the car.
Hi, Marcus. Have you dumped
Did
all
I
the
miss
electronic
anything?
stuff? Just getting rid of all the electronic stuff. So we're all in for dealing with Megiddo?
We're going to need to make a stop if there's no ATF. We were relying on our contact for support, for munitions, for...
Maybe that's where the compromise has happened, in the ATF.
Well, if we can still trust the Sons of Megiddo, most of them are going to be at the courthouse. So we're going to have... It's going to be doable.
So let's run through. At the moment, let's assume that you've changed out devices, any kind of electronics, mechanical, trackable, for the moment. 2 cars heading out on the road. I think a quick, survey, Susan, will confirm that in fact this trial that's going on for members of that community and the scheduling of that are still in place. Like they have just, that has been left go. So, Marcus, I do have to check in with you.
I just want to clarify, because as much as we're talking around in, obtuse stuff here, I think that ultimately it's not much of a different story that we do tell Marcus, right? Which is just that we suspect the program itself has been compromised. Therefore, it would be dangerous to get in touch with our handlers. We should remain on mission, and that's what we're going to do. Yeah, does that seem fair to everybody? Just to
Yeah, I think that makes absolute sense. The deeper details are unnecessary at the moment. But
The only observation I would make is, why are we assuming that handler is the straight one?
Because we were pulled off the only job that makes sense. I don't know what you have seen. You've seen people in cages, but you haven't seen that weird flesh. Oh, you have been at the farm, right? So you have seen the shit that they are causing.
he also
Why-
did the autopsies.
Yeah, but I mean, the head parasite. Yeah, I've come to terms with the head parasite.
Why?
I've come to terms with the head parasite.
Literally.
I mean, anything is ultimately susceptible to the application of science. So that's fine. All of that's fine. I'm just curious that we're just assuming that Jim's handler is the straight one.
No,
But the
we're
logic
assuming-
Susan just said, you're a man of logic. Susan's logic must be correct.
When they pull you
Okay.
off something, it usually means that they don't want you to look.
Okay. Now I'm prepared to go with that. I just think there's an enormous weight of assumption in it.
Yes, I agree, Doctor.
We've got to
What
protect the
evidence?
American public, Doctor. We know what kind of nastiness the Sons of Megiddo can get up to. It's all about protecting people, isn't it? That's what's important.
Can I make a stability roll?
Yeah.
Because I think that, finding out that there's conspiracies, because you have to trust your handler, right? In a conspiracy, and if your handler's compromised, then who the fuck knows who you might be able to trust? We're all in the wind now.
Absolutely.
So,
What was it your friend said in that, just when you were talking with him? Wasn't it something about how Delta Green agents die
they go rogue
when they
their
go
own.
When
out
they're
on their
gone.
own? Yeah, that was what Jefferson said. That was the last words that he said. So yeah, I think I think this is a pretty substantial thing for you. This is a heavy thing. So I think this is difficulty 3.
Yeah, I'd agree with that. It's the end of all sanction, right? Like, it's the difference between being a serial killer or a government assassin. It's a very big difference at the end of the day. I'm just going to spend the 1.
Okay.
Not from a moral point of view, but it is within your worldview. If you there's a difference between a soldier and a slasher, right? I'm just going to spend the 1.
Okay.
Oh, that's a 2.
That is a 2. So you're going to lose 4 points of sanity.
Okay.
Or stability, rather.
Mm-hmm.
And if you had succeeded, your adapt to helplessness would have gone up by 1. But I think here it doesn't. Like, you are genuinely freaked out by this.
Mm-hmm.
I definitely want to share the car for the journey with Jean.
Okay. Does that seem fair? Let's do that conversation. Like, let's do the travel conversation, because you are on the road, the great American panorama going past as you're figuring out, okay, where can we get weapons? Who can we talk to? What do we want to do? Is that ATF agent compromised, not compromised? Where do we go? How do we do this? Let's do the Marcus Jean conversation, and let's come to Susan and Jim. Marcus?
You seem more than usually tense, Jean.
Yeah. Well, no shit.
Just unpack that for me.
Are we in fucking therapy or a car?
We're in a car, we're having a conversation. I just want to understand, is all. You've been in this stuff a lot longer than I have. You have greater experience. I just want to get an insight.
Your inclination is to pick up the phone, right? That would have been my inclination. But how do I know? Now I don't know the people on the phone can be trusted. I don't know that any of the people can be trusted. Everything that we do, it all cascades down from somewhere, right? And I've been happy. Well, happy. But they've put me in the right direction. And now I don't know if they're pointing any of us in the right direction. I don't know who's doing the pointing.
in the end, haven't you always been pointing yourself?
A friend of mine said that there's two ways people retire from this job. They either break down, they can't do it anymore, or they go on their own. They take it into their own hands. They point themselves, Dr. Evans.
Yeah, but throughout this, you've had a degree of free will, Gene. You've always been able to walk away.
I can't walk away, Doctor.
Not anymore. No. My point is, what's
I
actually
could never
changed?
walk away, Doctor. Maybe you
Once
could.
you knew what they were doing.
I walked into this thinking that I was going to do exactly what the situation we're in now. I thought I would take down a rogue conspiracy that was murdering American citizens. And then I saw there was a reason that they were doing this. And then what I just saw on that last mission showed me that the reasons go deeper than I ever thought. And now I don't know if it's all part of the same fucked up thing.
I would like to make a psychotherapy roll.
You don't have to make a roll. With psychotherapy, you spend 1 point of psychotherapy to return 2 points of stability to your ally. This is just kind of talk therapy, like letting Gene vent and be aggressive towards you. If you spend 2 points, you can restore Gene back up to full stability.
It feels to me that I should ask Will how many points he wants Gene to gain from this process.
Let's leave her a little bit marked. Let's put me back up to 6 rather than to the full 8.
Okay.
But I do think it's helpful, and I think that the only thing that Gene's going to say is that on our first mission, I didn't want to tell you. Just you thought that this was much bigger, much more official than it is even at the best of times. I'm sorry I didn't tell you the truth, Doctor.
You don't need to worry about that, Gene. I think this has been very good for me. I think I was stuck in a rut, a comfortable rut, but a rut nonetheless. This may be rather more uncomfortable than I'd anticipated, but I'm all for personal growth.
And I think that Jean is going to glance over at him, glance back, and she's going to remember that, when I first saw you, somehow this just seemed to have enervated you, like all of this just seemed to put a spring in your step from the first time I met you. Like, is it my imagination, or those, maybe you had more wrinkles around your eyes, But yeah.
I'll be honest, Gene, I've never felt better.
Well, good. She sparks another cigarette up and stares at her own harrowed eyes in the mirror. Yeah.
Let me like that.
Susan, Jim, Susan, let me ask you this. You've gone through some shit. And this last bit back home was kind of a real break for you. I mean, you're still doing that job, but it's kind of a break. What do you think Jim will notice about you that tells him that something is different?
Oh, there's definitely, her nails are bitten through. There's no nail left. And what he will immediately notice at the moment is that she had lighted a cigarette and she had never smoked.
Shit me, Susan. That ain't good for your health.
She opens the window.
No, that's good for my health. But, sucking that shit in your lungs ain't doing you no good. Let me tell you that. We've had a few talks, Susan. You look worn out. You look as if you need some time off. I mean, are they working you hard?
Yeah, forget about it. It's not important.
Well, no, I mean, my work life is pretty down the shit tube at the moment. I mean, I'm getting hounded all over the place. This is, it's getting harder at work, not easier. Whatever double life we're leaving, it's having an effect on my professional career. Have you noticed that?
I don't even have a double life anymore. This is my life now. This is the real thing. The other stuff, it's the time in between missions.
True, but based on what I just told you earlier about compromise, I'm thinking that that's having a sort of a blowback effect on my career. I'm under a lot more strain work-wise. You look as if you're under a lot more strain. Do you think that could be it? That it's forced pressure on you? If we're compromised, they could be exerting a lot of pressure in a lot of ways. I'm going to later have a chat with Gene and Marcus and see if maybe, that's true. How much
Jim,
crap?
I trust you. And I trust Gene. I think we should have left Marcus in the hospital.
Possibly. I'm not going to say true. Possibly, Susan. But he's got some good skills, and we need those skills. I'm just not too. I used to know Marcus. He just seems to be going down a very different path. While we all look burnt out, he seems full of life. I just think we need to keep a close eye on Marcus, closer than anybody else. Because if a member of this group's compromised, it's Marcus, and we're going to have to do something about it. Let's hope it doesn't get that far, but I think we need to keep an eye on him. I don't want to put a bullet between his head, but, hopefully it never comes to that. He's a good man, or he was a good man. Let's just keep an eye out. That's all I'm saying. Let's give him the benefit of the doubt while we still can. You happy with that?
Muted.
I do think the camera kind of lifts up and maybe drifts back to the other car, where we see Marcus sitting with a real smile on his face. So we're going to handle this a little abstractly here. You've got a lot of resources to bring to bear. You've got preparedness, you've got network, you've got spends you can do from agency to form pools to help out with those kinds of things. Even a certain bit of mechanics is possible. Most of what it's going to be is roles is you're going to get what you want. What failure is failures on clock of attention and time and that kind of thing. So just kind of keep that in mind. That it goes for network. If you go to use somebody from your network to do stuff, you'll get what you want, but we will make a check to see if we start ticking a clock a little bit more. Let's see. Let me get this called down. So let's assume that you hit Nevada and hit a metropolitan area where you can blend in and you have access to things. You can pick up, we're going to assume you can pick up new phones for yourselves, new laptops for yourselves, and that you have that gear, no problem. You also still have the basic DG bag that you took from the site that you screened for any kind of tags or tracers. So you do have, pistols, ammunition, that kind of thing. So I want to go around and see what you want to get, establish, build, find out. So Gene, let me start with you. What do you want? What do you need to do this operation?
ETF task force, which I don't think I can read.
Do you want to call up your guy?
Yeah, can I make
Gene, just so I remind you, my brother's a military contractor.
I'm just wondering if we can pull. Can we pull bodies into it? No, we can't pull bodies. It's probably beyond the possibility of pulling in the ATF, like the contractor to get the weaponry, right? We could do that.
No, to put a team on the ground. Pete would do that for me.
Your brother-in-law would.
My brother.
Your brother. Hey, I'm interested in finding out what Marcus Evans is going to do here,
Okay.
frankly.
So let's start with Marcus.
Yeah.
And then we'll come to Gene. So Marcus, you're establishing a contact with your network?
I am.
Okay.
I can't remember how to do that though.
Okay. So you've got how much in your network right now?
I've got 6.
Okay. And so how many points do you want to invest from that towards this contact? The more points you have, the more reach, power, availability you have. It also means a little bit of like, it kind of raises a little bit of the difficulty to keep it quiet kind of thing. But what do you want to do?
I think I'll put 5 in there.
Okay, so that's pretty serious. So what is your brother's name?
Pete Evans.
Okay. And like he works for a company that's like Remility. It's a private security contractor. He's in the States right now. He's doing security training, like paramilitary security training, that kind of thing. And you will call him up and he's like, Marcus, I haven't heard from you in a while. What's up?
No, this is going to sound odd, Pete, but what would you say if I told you that that I had information about a terrorist group that, for reasons I can't currently explain to you, I cannot go to the FBI about, and I believe that they need to be taken out?
Does this have anything to do with your RV getting shot up?
Okay, I wasn't going to raise that, but these are the people who shot me and shot it.
And that's what happened in Kansas City?
That is what happened. I find myself deep in some situation. I need to keep Joe out of this.
What?
I need to draw a line under it. And I don't know anybody else.
Oh man. I'd rather violate federal statutes than try to lie to your wife after this. What do you want?
I need some people and some firepower.
Roll me a d6, Marcus.
That is a 1.
He says so you've got a choice here, Marcus. Are you more interested in firepower or of not alerting the bad guys? Which end of that spectrum?
I think I have no alternative in the car but put my hand over the microphone and look at Gene and say, numbers or fuss. You can have numbers, but I can't guarantee that it won't go down without a fuss.
It's going to be a fuss when the gunshots start.
Pete, numbers.
All right. Where do I need to get people to?
And I will give him a nearby location. I can't remember where Megiddo is. It's the Hawthorne. Hawthorne, Nevada is the ultimate location.
Okay. I can get you. I don't want to do this during the day, like I would, but so let's make sure we're doing this after dark. I can get you myself and 2 6-man teams. I can get that on site with some ordnance to back it up. But when this is said and done, I'm going to need some money, like some serious money to pay these people off if I do this.
Okay. Round figures?
I'd say about $100,000 if you want two 6-man teams to do this.
Okay. It'll be fine.
All right. I'm going to give you SAT coordinates. I'm going to work on getting people in place. I can get them there in 24. So we're talking tomorrow evening. Okay.
I'll be in touch.
Is it, let me ask you a thing. Is it just you or are you with some other people?
There are some colleagues with me that have found themselves tied up in the same stuff.
All right. And he will hang up and then he'll pick up the phone and he will make another phone call.
I look across at Gene and say, yes.
Agent Oliver, what are you doing? We've got 2 6-person teams. You're assuming vests, automatic weapons, that kind of thing.
I mean,
transport as well.
Yeah, so we've got bodies, you know, because my major concern was that the lack of bodies to deal with, you know, any greater number than 4 people essentially would be a difficulty, because we're talking about a full compound essentially here, aren't we? Like many people in theory on. Does Marcus's brother, is he going to supply us with our own tactical gear?
I didn't get to that. No.
Nope.
Then I would like to use, I'd like to call upon Greg, and I'd like to get the location of a green box in Nevada. Because Greg's been old.
Greg is out of communication right now.
Shit. Well, then I'm going to have to go with Agent Rook.
Okay.
Who I worked with on and off for a while ago, who has been around for a while, who is based, you know, has a Nevada accent. And I remember that Rook said that he'd been around a long time and that he'd seen some shit. And he was the one, in fact, who told me about green boxes.
And yeah, you can contact him and he's like, this is unusual. What are you calling me out of the blue for?
I need those boxes you told me about, the way he used to do things. I need one. I need what you might have what anyone might have stashed in one.
How much contact do you want to spend?
2.
Or network? Oh, 2. Okay, let's go ahead and have you roll.
Okay. Do I roll with a modifier for that? Or?
We're rolling just a D6.
Mm-hmm.
You've spent 2. I'm keeping that in mind here.
Okay.
That's 5. So he'll say, that's really old school. You know, they're actually, I know they've been sweeping up some of that things. I don't know if you heard that Chicago postal depot got hit. And that was an old green box site.
I didn't realize that was one of ours.
Yeah, it's been like, so people have been nervous, but I happen to know where there is one located outside of Vegas.
Great.
It's mostly explosives. Is that okay?
Look, it all helps.
It all goes in the pot. Okay.
Yeah.
All right. I'll let you stone soup it then. Yeah. I'll give you the GPS coordinates and some details. And I was never involved with this.
With what? I don't know who this number is.
Let's come to Jim. Jim, what are you doing? We have on the table established that we've got two strike teams that are self-armed, and now we have a supply of explosives.
I'm going to be dead subtle because that's what Jim's always about.
Yeah,
subtlety.
absolutely.
Yeah. I'm going to go.
I'm thinking of that karate kick from before.
Yeah. That wasn't me. That was my brother. You just can't tell us apart. So I'm going to go to Nevada Land Registry, and I'm going to pull schematics, and I really want sort of sewer and waterworks going in and out of that compound.
Yeah.
A compound would probably generate a reasonable amount of waste, even if it, it's probably not going to be on a main sewer or what we call a main sewer.
So what? And I think I'm going to give you this, the base part without an architecture spend. I think what you will get is multiple septic tanks is the main thing for that. There are some like runoff things for in case of flooding or things like that, but there's no underground sewers. Some of the runoff are tunnels that go under a little ways before they come out, but there's no like per se underground exit culverts. Yeah, there's a good word for it. But do you want to make an architecture spend?
I will make a spend of architecture because I think there could be a reasonably decent way to get in. Spent.
I don't think you'll see it as a necessarily an easy access way to get in, but I think it is like you pull up the photos of the site, you pull up all of that, you run it through multiple things. It's very clear to you that there has definitely been some concealed underground construction that has happened at the compound over the last few years. And I think that when you kind of are running it, like maybe some heat stuff and things like that, it's clear that the main compound, I mentioned that sort of adjacent but a ways away, is the mound. There's definitely an underground like set of tunnels that run from the compound to the mound. And probably some more underground things under the compound itself. Now, if you could breach that tunnel like at a midpoint between the mound and the compound, conceivably you could get in that way. Does that seem like fair?
That does seem fair. When you say breach, I mean, would a digger do it? Or are we talking military breaching?
No, I mean, you would need a backhoe to dig that out, which would not be, either way is not going to be subtle.
No, but if we do it at night, I think that's something I'll probably discuss with the group.
Okay.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Susan, what are you getting information wise or material wise or whatnot to prepare for this?
I mean, if we have a plan of the actual building, like a layout.
Yeah, you've got is very much an external layout of these different buildings. It's a compound, but with some identification, like, okay, I know that this is sleeping quarters. I know that this is the workshop. I know that this is the motor pool. You've got those elements definitely identified. Particularly also, where's the gas line? Where's the fuel stored? Those kinds of, where's the heavy industrial machinery? Like, you get all of that easily enough.
Then it will be material. I don't know if we have, like, obviously some kind of machine gun and a body, what's it called? body protection.
Yeah.
Body armor.
But you have a couple of vests and you don't have any machine guns right now. You have pistols.
Yeah. So I want the machine gun. I
Okay.
want what is it called? Flashbangs and what are they called?
Incendiary?
Incendiaries.
Incendiary grenades, please.
Okay. So do you want to do that with preparedness or do you want to do that with network?
That is a good. Let me have a look. My preparedness is at 5.
Yeah, that's pretty good.
If I get all these things, I spend them all.
Okay. So you want to spend 5 on preparedness to see how much of your requisition you can get, and then we can follow up with network if you want.
Yes.
Okay. Let's have you roll with preparedness.
So it's +5. And D6. Roll. I got a 9.
Yeah, that's pretty good. So tell me what is it like? What's the channel that you've picked up in the FBI that gets you to somebody who can get this to you? What is that?
It's probably an arms dealer that was suspected of doing illegal arms deals and was found out to be an illegal arms dealer, but it was for some reason what's it called, brushed under the rug.
Okay. Yeah. Yeah.
Because maybe the FBI wanted some information or he did something for them.
So you were in part of the team that ended up contacting and debriefing him. He's turned over some information. He's working as an informant. He knows you. They brought you in because he's also he's from Ceylon, that kind of background. And so he's like, you want what?
Best not to ask any questions.
No. I'm not asking why. So you want
these grenades that cause fire, a couple of flashbangs, machine guns, and a body armor.
I can get you vests. Easy. That's easy enough. Get you nice ones to work. I can get you grenades.
Cool.
That's the flashbangs. Very easy. Incendiary, a little bit harder, but I can get you that. That seems fine. This isn't a sting, right? You're not. You have to tell me if it is.
I would never lie to you.
Oh, fair. I can get you incendiary rounds. I'm loath. Like, I can get you a couple of assault rifles that are clean, and I can get you some incendiary rounds for those. But like full machine guns and things, I don't think I can do that for you here. But are you okay with that? Someone might have filed down the pin so they can go full automatic with these assault rifles. If you take my meaning.
Mm-hmm. I get your meaning. I think this will be fine.
Okay. So he'll get you as many vests as you need. He'll get you 2 assault rifles with a reasonable amount of incendiary rounds. And he'll get you 4 flashbangs and 4 incendiary grenades. Let's take 5, come back, do another check on preparations, and sort of foreshadow on things. So take 5. So Gene, over the course of this next day, gear is gathered together, vehicles, but Rajavi returns with some serious military ordnance. What else do you want to do? What else do you want to get? Like, what other plans do you do you have for your life before you go in on this raid?
Alan, did you have a plan for our man at the ATF?
No, I was rereading the briefing and I noticed that he exists.
Yes, yeah, he's a DG asset. Yeah,
I don't know if there is any mileage, as you said, in trying to use him to leverage a way to delay the Sons of Megiddo at the courthouse or in the town, because the original premise was that the ATF would hit it while there was a court hearing, which would attract a lot of people away. Now we have to go at night because I don't think we're going to convince Pete to go in daylight.
Okay, let's sort that dead easy. Somebody drop a very small amount of explosives in a bin outside as we make a phone call to the courthouse saying terrorist threat. The judge will not continue sitting for the remainder of the day. That will cause a hell of a lot of heat to descend on that courthouse, especially if they think it's the Sons of Megiddo doing something.
oh, that's totally my plan. Yeah,
so do you declare yourself to be the Sons of Megiddo?
Yeah, we need to.
Megiddo.
Yeah. We need to make a call.
So, Agent Oliver, tell me how you want to set this up.
I would like to set this up by doing it through our DG ATF agent.
Okay.
To get him to see, I'm ringing in the bomb threat to him as the Sons of, but I'm not pretending to be the Sons of Megiddo. I am simply giving him everything that he needs to fabricate that, to lead with it, to hold the people who are at that courthouse.
So let's do the back channel. You have the DG process call. Let's have you make an agency spend. Okay. And you will get a hold of Auberjon, and he's like, Agent Oliver, what's up? Do you know why they canceled the op?
I can't tell you. Do you understand?
Okay. Yeah, it was weird. I mean, we were all ready in a position, but
listen, all I can tell you is that it wasn't safe for the ATF to be involved. Okay, it wasn't safe for you. We're going a different way with this, but we need you. You still have a role to play here. You understand?
Okay.
You can make this all revolves around you. We need the Sons, Wayne, those at the courthouse. I'm going to give you. CI is going to ring you up, tell you about the Sons have a plan. If the court doesn't go their way, they're going to blow the whole thing up. You'll find explosives in a bin located outside of etc. Right? That should give you everything you need to hold them for the rest of the overnight, 24 hours. That's all we need.
We can try. I don't know. We can give it a shot, but I can certainly do that. We can certainly delay them.
Can I spend something extra to sort of like push him into, like this is your, like you're no longer going in on the raid, but this is your raid. This is your mission, for America. Do it for America.
Sure. How about a reassurance spend?
Yeah. And this is all on the up and up, and it's not a bunch of cowboys doing their own thing.
Okay. I'll say, okay, I can do that. I don't have access to shut down electronic traffic or the phone traffic and stuff. So just know that we may get some bleed here.
Yeah, don't worry. I understand.
Okay. Here's just when you give me this signal, I'll put it into play. Okay.
And now I suppose the other preparation is how do we shut down communications from the jammers are actually surprisingly easy to buy.
Alan, Dr. Evans, what else are you doing to get ready for what, from what you're hearing now, is going to turn out to be a paramilitary raid with only modest support? And your brother going in too.
Yeah, I need to scare up some medical supplies, it seems to me.
Okay.
I will have brought the usual black bag, and I think I still probably have 5 doses of fast-acting sedative in a white bore needle. But it strikes me that I may want to just, pack some bandages. I mean, nothing high tech. I just need to go to a variety of pharmacies and, get some bandages and dressings and stuff.
I don't think that's a spend at all for you to get those supplies. Is there anything heavier or harder that you want to get, or anything you want to do on your own?
No,
Okay.
no, this is going to be fine.
Okay, absolutely. I think that's fair.
A
Jim,
lesser man would ring his wife, but no.
yeah. Jim, what about you? Anything else you want to get prepped?
Possibly, I'd prefer to actually reasonably speak with the others about plan, because we've skirted a bit, but we haven't come up with a solid, actually, what we are going to do. So my thoughts are, we're going to use Alan's brother to attack the far side of the compound from the mound, the opposite side, not to probably go in, but just to engage in a firefight. That should allow Alan's brother to maximize defensive positions while drawing a lot of the Sons of Megiddo to engage in a firefight.
Because Jim's already surveyed the plans, right? Like you've done some
I'll clearly pass this back to you.
Yeah.
I reckon we should go in midpoint down this tunnel system. So I think I'm going to go and get hold of an excavator and get it dropped off as some sort of roadworks nearby.
Okay. So yeah, let's that will either be network or preparedness to get that excavator into position so that it isn't noticed, so that it is where you need it to be and you can access it quickly.
Let's go for 3 points in preparedness.
Okay, that seems fair.
Yeah. Let's not monkey around here. Do I actually have 3 points in? Yeah, I do. That's gone back down. That's good. D6 rolling. Oh, not a good roll though.
Okay.
4.
You have this excavator. You have it set. You are certain that it is absolutely going to get there. Not a problem.
Okay.
Yep. You're very happy with your plan. Yes.
Just Jim's our military man. I know that he's just done his prep action as finding a digger, but
Excavator.
Excavator, yeah. I know that Paul is also our military man in terms of actual knowledge, but like perhaps I would defer. I think the operation itself, the raid, would benefit from a certain level of tactical approach, right?
Paul, if you want to make a spend with military science, I will allow you to, like, as you finally get that set, that you will look at the ground and the dirt there, and you're like kind of taking that second look. This is shit you can't see from the air. The fact of the softness of the ground, they've done some irrigation here, and you're like, I'm not sure this excavator is going to make it to the place we need to get it to. So we either need to drive it up on a truck bed, or we need to lay down some platforms, like some, how they put flat,
yeah, basically you get like rolled roadway. You sort of put front. That's quite hard to get that kind of shit in quantity. So we probably need a flatbed.
I think you can get
one and drive one.
Yeah, I think you can get one, no problem. But you will realize that it presents a potential weak point in your plans, but you can get that. Does that seem fair?
Seems fair. Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah, I mean, a digger's. I mean, what's it? A wheel digger or a tracked digger?
tracked.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, they're pretty good at most surfaces.
Yeah. Oh, you just need to get it. Oh, you just need to get up and over this.
A
This.
berm.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, we may have to spend some sort of time digging through. Okay.
Okay.
Yeah.
But you've got it.
Okay.
Susan, what else are you doing planning wise?
Any suggestions? Is it necessary to jam the communications? It's more to not alert like the press and stuff.
Well, shit. I mean, if we don't, we need to. He's right. We need to lock it down because as soon as the sun, let the Suns know. Hell, they could ring 911.
Okay, so locally jamming locally around the compound,
hitting the cell tower that covers the areas there.
Mm-hmm.
That seems fair. I think that is a computer's role for you. I think we're going to put it in that area, sort of electronics, computers, to have the jammers to get it to figure out what the cell towers are that cover the area, to go around and quickly get something set up.
I spent 4.
Okay.
And make the roll. Let's see. Roll. That is a 5. Glad I spent 4.
Yeah, it's not great. And you're not sure how long it will last. But you can get that set up.
Cool.
And I think there is this moment as you've got the construction thing set up. I think there's a moment as dusk hits that these 2 black 4x4s roll up, tinted windows. And you see these guys roll out. They've got vests, they've got earpieces, they've got barely concealed Nazi tattoos, the 88 and stuff like that. These are the kinds of guys who go and join Blackwater and shit. Lot of strange accents there amongst this group here. Your brother clearly tries to keep them away from you and your group, and he's like, kind of goes over. You present Jim to him as the person who knows the tactical stuff. He'll look over
This is my friend Jim. Jim.
Okay. It's just
Jim.
And brother says, I don't want no names. Just okay. And he'll kind of look over the thing, and he has his own like pad. He looks like Marcus, but a little bit younger. In age, but he actually looks older in terms of like, it's weird. And he'll kind of go, okay. What is we're providing a distraction? Is that what's happening?
Yeah. So I want you to put suppressive fire down on that entire side of that building. Okay. I want you to draw these fuckers out and just pin them. So use the terrain to your advantage. Okay. You don't need to attack.
We're going to have to move to be able to get the fields of fire on the compound, because it's clearly, set defensively, but let's work out signal for us to withdraw. If we have to fall back, let's work out those signals and things. And he's very professional about it.
Sure. Sounds good.
He goes, okay, well, we've got a few hours. We're going to get into position. Everybody should, catch whatever shut eye you need to, or come down. Don't go in to. Kind of finally looks at you, Marcus. Like he's gonna say something, and then he's like, I've
been working out.
Oh, okay.
Thanks for doing this, brother.
Yeah. Gene?
I think I was just looking back at our original objectives, and I think that they stand pretty much right.
Yeah.
Find and sanction Stanley as well as any others who appear to have hypergeometric knowledge or contamination. Locate and neutralize the substance found in the Michigan operation. Locate and neutralize any other hypergeometric infections. Third-party innocents and victims, use our best judgment. So I think we give those objectives to these men as well, to what extent, which is that
Should we?
no, I mean, but only in the sense of not all of that, not the hypergeometric or anything like that, but like these are the enemy combatants. Your job is to pin them down while we infiltrate the compound and execute our objectives. But you know, feel weapons free basically on these guys. Like they are hostile targets, they are terrorists, they are armed and dangerous, and that, yeah.
I assume there's no women and children on site, is there?
We're there to
If
get
they
them.
pick up arms, they're a combatant.
No.
Okay. I just,
Yeah, I'm not asking you to lob in. I'm not asking you to lob in a howitzer or anything.
No, look, I just want to know I just want to make sure that there are no like women and children on the compound,
Of course, there's women and children in the compound.
Wait, which is it? It kind of turns back to you, Marcus.
Um,
Am I gonna have to worry about hostages? Like what? Like
no, you
No.
don't have to worry about hostages. No, look, the bottom line, Pete, is there could be, we don't really know.
If they engage you in combat, they are a hostile entity.
you
Women,
understand
children,
that it is you've got some military background. You understand it's not as precise as that. You understand
No,
that
that's why
the
we're
kind
not
of
asking you to go in. We want you to stay on the outside and lay down suppressive fire. If
suppressive
one of them
fire.
fires back at you,
Suppressive fire is yes, it's a thing, but when you're talking the kind of teams that you've brought in for us to do these things, I will get okay. I'll use my best discretion.
fine.
It'll be fine, Pete.
And
We've got the code. We've got the code signal. What we're going to go in at?
Red flare, white flare.
0 dark 30.
Cook. Gene, what do we see of you in sort of the couple of hour lead up to like actually doing this op raid?
Drilling, the weapons, the tactical gear, and checking all of Marcus's gear as well.
Jim, what about you?
Wearing my best construction workers outfit, I'm gonna look over this excavator.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've got mechanics and drive, so
you should be fine.
Should be fine. Yeah.
But basically, all it is right now. You've got a slightly increased difficulty, but you should be able to get up there, no problem.
Yeah.
What about you, Susan?
Susan sits with her back to leaning against the excavator or the truck, and she's running some prayer beads between her thumbs. She's not really religious, but it calms her down.
And Marcus, you sit in the car, you're going over your med kit, kind of sit back, a lot of adrenaline going through you, a lot of adrenaline. And I think there's that moment where you kind of sit back and you've been a doctor, you've been a researcher. This is the kind of thing you know how to do, is to catch the cat naps, to kind of sleep with your eyes open kind of thing. And I think there's this moment where you close your eyes and you are in this dream and you're in your house and you're talking on the phone and you hear yourself saying, locate and neutralize substance found in the Michigan operation, eternal flesh. Locate and neutralize any other hypergeometric infections. If there are any third-party innocents or victims, utilize your best judgment. And you hear Rick say, "Thank you, Doctor." And then we cut to that scene that we saw earlier in the episode of your wife coming up and saying, "Are you going somewhere?" And that is what we're going to take up next time. I would like to do a quick stars and wishes if everybody is cool with that. Will, let me start with you.
The whole pulling the rug out from underneath us and the two missions and because it was all set to be a ATF back raid, but now we've had to construct an ATF raid using the most outlaw shit I can imagine, which is calling in your brother's PMC squad of mercenaries and essentially just raiding all of our illicit contacts that we've made, and Jim's slush fund, to just keep on going through. So yeah, stars all around as usual to the players for all of the in character, and meta conversations and mixed in with the in character motivations and everything, and the paranoia of it all, and allowing us to have, because part of me is always going to wonder what would have happened if we'd gone to Louisiana. It's perfect, right?
Exactly.
So, yeah, thank you. Yeah.
Any wishes for that final session?
So to hit your fight, flight, or freeze, you have to lose, is it 5 in one go or something like that?
Let me look back at that.
Like in standard Delta Green, it's 5 in one go.
Well, basically, in here. It's if you hit negative stability 6, which is very possible.
Okay. Then I hope for lots of stability checks.
Okay.
That's my wish, basically, because I'd like to drive us to that edge of having to throw our character into one of those 3 nuclear options, essentially, because I think that's one of the best things about the original Delta Green system.
Okay. Excellent. Paul?
Yeah, I think that 90-degree swivel you pulled on us, I think it drove really good RP from the player base, and everybody lent into that. So that was really nice to see, yeah. And clearly the strangeness of Marcus continues to amaze me. But yeah, both Will and Horst, some really good RP there, I thought, playing off that 90-degree swivel. Going forwards, no, I've had the bear trap and the
the flamethrower.
Yeah, yeah. No, I cannot think of anything else I really want to see. Maybe some more supernatural. The flesh was really good. Maybe that sort of a flesh +1, maybe. Yeah.
So a workable tunnel infiltration and some more supernatural stuff.
Yeah, well, the tunnel might not be workable, but let's see. That would be good. Maybe something in the mound. Maybe some big pile of flesh stuff. Yeah,
absolutely.
Yeah, but yeah, really enjoying it. So just more the same.
Horst?
Yeah, I loved something you said. Don't feel pressured to any to choose the one that you think I want you to go to. So having the total freedom to just make a decision, and especially making it even juicier for Paul's character, because it's the drugs and stuff. That was really nice. And concerning wishes, I trust that you will deliver a good last session.
Okay. And I've saved you last, at least because I've mucked with you quite a bit today, Alan. So I appreciate you playing along. I want to throw that star to you, being willing to roll with some of the things.
I mean, this is delightful. Wishes, just carry on doing what you're doing. But no, I mean, the way in which you have set up the option for Marcus to have this drifting character change from I remember him in session 1, and now he's a women, children, it'll be fine. It's you know, is fantastic, and a star for Will for going with my brother Pete, because I think you had a plan, and I thought, well, what's the point of having a military contractor in the family if you can't pull him in? So thanks for that. The way, Horst, that Susan is living with the stress and the strain, you know, work, smoke, sleep, work, smoke, sleep is it's kind of viscerally, you know, unpleasant in the sense of where this game has been going. And Paul, yeah, Jim, you know, I mean, complete this sequence. Bear trap, flamethrower. Oh, excavator and flatbed.
It's good.
It's delightful. And yeah, I mean, you know, you are crafting a wonder here, Lowell. So carry on beavering away. And thanks for the work you're doing off the ball. Because if you know, I think you meant it. We could have gone either way.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, part of me wanted to really push you by splitting the party and doing both.
I might have put my foot down for. All right, I'm going to stop the recording, but we need to have a conversation.